Hi folks, my name is Conrad, also known as Seven Senses. Welcome back to Disco Elysium, our hardcore playthrough, where we are attempting to get the What Body trophy. That means we're going to solve this murder investigation without ever inspecting the corpse's body. We have made it to day 4. We're just at the beginning of day 4. To recap what has happened so far, since then, the last stream, we got our gun back. We had our run-in with the pigs, and we were actually able to get our gun back. I was a little concerned about that because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get it back as a result of the way that the conversation with Everett went with Harry and Kim. But no, we lucked out in that regard. We ran into I can't even remember what the group they called themselves. The drunks, basically. The Don't Call Abigail, Rosemary, and Idiot Doom Spiral. We had a nice little conversation with him. We also had... How did Kim confiscated our drugs? I can't remember what the heck I had done to... Oh, it was during the confrontation with the pigs. We had found that she had confiscated some narcotics. We had taken it, and then Kim called us out on it. And as a result of that, the Pyrrolidon and the certain speed, was taken from us, so Kim confiscated that. So we're basically down to booze. We do have Nosafed, so we do have access to Pyrrolidon, if it comes to that, but we're not too concerned. Anyways, the stream looks like it's in good working order, so we should be able to continue on with day 4. Oh yeah. I had Harry stripped down so he had a good night's sleep. That's the idea. Figure out what I'm doing with the this clothes here. Shouldn't be too hard to figure out. We'll start with the feet, work our way up. So the boots, there. We'll want our... Oh, pants. We need the composure pants. The logic shirt. Although the kuros drops our empathy. Gives us more volition. Yeah, why not? Oh, we gotta put our... Oops. Gloves, I guess, will be the electrochemistry, and then glasses, I guess, the visual calculus. Although logic. Oh yeah, logic is feeling it. Oh, -2 from thought. What thought is that? Oh, our Guillaume. The Million. And I guess we have another one that's also... Oh, the magnesium base. Oh yeah, shit. Didn't realize my logic was taking on such a hit. Oh yes, and we also have also begun the task of taking on La Responsibility. But that won't be an easy task. get our tools situated. I don't think we have to worry about bottles anymore. We're pretty good with money. But I guess wrenches. And we do have our gun back. We have a bullet. Oh, and we broke the, the pry bar. Trying to get into the church. We have to get into the church yet. There's a few things we actually have to do on this, I guess put the bag in our hands, because there's no sense running around with the flashlight. We also took the expression off our face. That happened. Didn't shave. I didn't want to shave. I like Harry with the handlebars.
Yes?
Kim, we need to talk about responsibility.
I'm glad to hear it, Detective. I was wondering when we'd get to this very subject.
Good, we're on the same page then.
If you ask me, it's high time for you to put the bottle away. Sober up, get back to basics. That would be my advice. And I hope we don't even need to discuss the street drugs you've been abusing.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not giving up drinking. It's what's got me where I am today. I can give up street drugs now. I just got addicted to them. No. I meant like la responsibility. You know, the kind that gets assigned.
Why are you pronouncing it like that gentleman from the Institute of Price Stabilité? You know what? Forget it. What specifically are you trying to assign responsibility for?
Spread your arms wide for this whole situation.
Now I understand.
The lieutenant nods his head gravely.
Next, I suppose you're going to tell me you need to form a committee to assign this responsibility?
Yes, exactly.
Fascinating. And here I believed your recent turn toward moralism was just an act. In any event, I am just a humble law official. I may work under the moral intern's umbrella, but I'm certainly not qualified to serve on any committee. You know who might be, though? That Mr. Villeudran, the gentleman you met in the young man's apartment. If I were trying to get in touch with the coalition, I would start by seeking him out. But first you might need to speak with his young companion. Now, was there anything else?
Well, I mean, we have 1 point to put in the Inland Empire. All right. Kim says you should... Oh, we didn't read this. Take on responsibility. Things down here are a mess. Someone really ought to do something about it. First, though, you and some moralists should probably form a committee to decide whose job it is. So Kim says you should look for a Sunday friend. A smoker on the balcony might know where he is. Oh yeah, we probably aren't going to get that tape out of the tree either. Oh, we got to make that phone call to the... we should take care of the body on the boardwalk. Call the library. I realized that I dialed up the music again. Oh yeah, day 4. Yeah, let's have this conversation.
That's one brutal motor carriage.
So, says the young man with piss, well, you can imagine what that says, written on his back.
If I were a real skull now, I'd jack it, paint it in palm tree livery, then bottom light it, neon style.
His companion wears a simple yet elegant slogan, fuck the world.
A snazzy shit-ripped skullmobile like this would make a fine trophy. We could, like, hang fucking shrunken heads from the side mirrors. Cops' heads. Scary tribal shit.
Yeah, tribal shit. A cop carriage like this would have proper skull value.
While I appreciate the interest you take in my brutal motor carriage, I have to stop you right there. The RCM takes threats directed at its property seriously.
Don't fuck with Kim's ride, boys.
It's just theoretical work, Copper. No basis in reality. Man, if we were certified skulls right now...
Skulls. Now there's a strong organizational title.
Who are you?
I can tell you who we're not, cop. We're not snitches or skulls.
Okay.
Which is not to say that the skulls are bitches and... On the contrary.
The part of this presentation you want to take home with you, cop man, is we're not part of the skulls yet.
Okay then, let's indulge in some intellectual exchange. These young men seem eager to share their beliefs.
Who are the skulls?
You don't know? What kind of cop are you?
It's not a question. Don't get into it.
I'm so glad you asked.
The question was rhetorical. The skulls are the most vicious gang of the Besmertne.
Besmatine, or the Besmati, the Immortals, are West River Sholian crime syndicates.
The nastiest bunch of psychos ever. Jacking carriages and getting into high-speed chases.
Possessing an infinite amount of fuck-all swagger, infamous for their non-verbal modus operandi.
Non-verbal?
If a skull spots you, he will pull out his dagger and stab you without saying a word.
Oh.
The lieutenant's voice is as calm as usual, a testament to the violence and death he's witnessed through the sight of his firearm.
They usually occupy the burnt-out quarter in Jamrock, or you can find them loitering around the brightly painted bottom-lighted vehicles.
I can't wait to become a skull. Bottom lights are wretched aggressive.
No, they really aren't. It's porno tuning. Say no to the porno.
Say no to the porno. Tim doesn't like porno tuning. Do you know anything about the murder that took place here? Point to the yard.
Murder?
A man was hanged in the backyard of the Whirling in Rags.
Yeah, sure. We'll gladly tell you everything we know about it. It was a man.
Also, he was hanged.
Don't fuck around, I'm the law.
He was hanged from a tree.
Yeah, I mean, duh.
These punks don't know anything. Let's just move along.
Hey, stop right there. How does one know anything?
Oh shit, we're going existential here.
Ah, this sounds like epistemology, a field so occupied by thought that it begins to question thought itself.
I know that you don't know shit.
Exactly. How can one know shit?
We should move along.
Please explain.
Knowing. We think that we know, but where does the thought originate from?
Oh, transcendental.
It seems that we can only think, but never know.
So you're telling me you don't know anything?
Precisely.
Do you know Cindy the Skull?
Oh yeah, Cindy's a right proper skull.
The young man's eyes glazed over, his voice filled with longing.
Yeah, a true artist of the future. Just like Arno van Eyck.
The other guy lights up too.
By the way, if you see Cindy, give her our regards.
He adds, returning from whatever void he was just visiting.
For all their nihilistic posturing, these young men are not lacking in youthful idealism. The lieutenant on your left is unusually lenient toward them.
I see you kids are into anodic dance music.
Oh man, yeah. We're not fucking kids, man.
He exclaims, then stops himself, processing the rest of your question.
Be wary of the abyss.
His blonde friend adds ominously and points to his temple. Why?
Probably because of how non-verbal their mode of operation is going to be. It's a threat.
The lieutenant answers for the two rebels. A threat? Good, I like those. Don't fuck with me, boys. I'm one of the bad cops. I just wanted to talk about music, and now there's a conflict all of a sudden. It's too much. Nervously shake your head.
That's right. You should back off and let silence rule supreme.
The young man says, looking unsure of himself.
This is ridiculous. Boys, do you know why the gang is called Skulls?
The lieutenant gives you an irritated glance.
Yeah. The skull symbolizes the embrace of death and nothingness, present in all of us. The vehicle of our future operations. Death and nothingness.
They're called Skulls because when you are shot dead in the middle of the street, the skull is the only part the stray dogs want to eat.
Oh.
Just trust me and follow my lead.
So, boys, want to feed the dogs?
No reply. The blonde rebel scratches his chin, deliberately not focusing his gaze on anything. He looks very uncomfortable. The other one shuffles uncomfortably, nevertheless continuing to steal glances at the lieutenant's motor carriage.
Why aren't there more skulls in Martinez?
The Union does their share of policing in Martinez, at least where gangs are concerned. That's why there isn't much organized crime around here.
The lieutenant replies instead.
Don't you worry about that. We're gonna make up for the deficit.
Yeah, we are.
The young man exchanged approving nods. Your rhetoric is confusing. Are you part of the Skulls or not?
We're not franchise skulls. Well, not yet. Once we get our name out there, we'll have a chance to join them.
And what makes you think the organization would accept you?
Because we can be just as psycho and vicious. You'll see.
But in a non-threatening and definitely legal way.
The other one quickly adds and whispers something to his friend.
We'll fuck the system from the inside later. Just be cool now. The damage will be tenfold.
Right on, fuck. So what's happening now?
The blonde agrees and provocatively spits on the pavement. Enough about this scullery then.
Mm-hmm.
What's with the jackets?
What about them?
Turn to the blonde youth. Why does your jacket have piss written on it?
Well, first off, it's a statement and not necessarily something that characterizes me as a person, even though the statement has character. And I do like piss.
Alright.
The word piss epitomizes the struggle taking place in the world. Things being defined as they seem, not as they are. And, I guess, it's also about communal spirit, the future, and truly appreciating our differences. Also, you've got to admit, it catches the eye. And since the Grand Piper is slowly but steadily moving towards basing the economy on it, attention, it is imperative that the medium itself convey the message.
What?
What I mean by this is, we are all piss, and that the world is inherently meaningless.
It seems that the young man has a certain expertise in at least one field, even if it's rather narrow.
Turn to the dark-haired youth. Why do you have "fuck the world" written on your jacket?
Like I said before, many men keep searching for the one, for so-called true love, which is actually just obsession masquerading as kinship. The thrill of the chase, the hollowness that fills your chest cavity after catching it.
I'm wondering if the poetics come with the jacket, or are they derived from something else entirely?
To catch a fish, you'll need to hurl the lure many times, and even then it isn't certain that you'll get anything. If you blow up the lake, though...
Blow it up. That's a terrible metaphor.
You get more fish in a shorter time. And, for time is of the essence and fleeting ever so quickly, one must think of a way to fuck the whole world and not get caught up in fucking some one. Because when one fucks everything, he fucks nothing. And that, to me, feels glorious. Sticking your dick into the void.
Hate to admit it, but in a weird way, he's got a point. Is it a coincidence that here we have 2 badass jackets and 2 badass cops?
I love this. You can actually, address it and just be like straight up, no, that's a coincidence. We're shutting this down.
Yes?
Do you think it's a coincidence?
What is?
There are 2 of us and 2 of these jackets.
What are you implying?
Which one would you wear?
I'm not sure I understand you, detective.
Are you more of a piss, or a fuck the world kind of guy?
Neither.
Come on, Kim, it's just a mental exercise.
Fine, if only to end this discussion. Theoretically, if I were a juvenile delinquent, if I were to already be down that path, I think piss is the stronger of the 2 statements.
The words, I feel more like a fuck the world kind of guy. That works. Oh, I see. That works. I feel more like a... Yeah.
Seems about right, especially considering your heroic exit attempts.
That's an origin story for a dynamic duo right there.
So are we done here? Or you don't need us around for your secret whisper party, do you?
Oh, I love how it's a half-light check. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, talking with you has definitely been something. Oh yeah, we're gonna shatter this half-light. We're getting new jackets, Kim. What do I have for half-light? I guess it would only be like the gloves. Oh. Oh, the foam jacket. Nice. Let's make sure. Ooh. Yeah, level 6. Nice. Okay.
That ride is fucking lightning.
The young man exclaims.
Hey, piss. Look who it is. Shrunken cophead material.
Alright. Half-light, high, 92%, +1 demonstrated authority, +1 Kim showed good tactics. Yeah, good old Kimbo. Oh, this is a red check. Oh, I didn't even realize that. +2. They're just off-brand skulls. So the only way we can fail this is if we roll snake eyes.
No. Don't ask anything. Be subtle and scary. The boys dream about being skulls. Use that.
Wait, how?
Suggest they're massive skulls. Come on.
Boys, with those jackets, you're gonna be the Skull Kings in no time.
What? No. Skulls don't have kings. I think. And we're not even in yet.
He quickly looks around.
Yeah, man, keep your voice down. Skulls don't take it lightly when folks pretend to be them. We're not even prospects yet.
Prospect must be a hierarchical term. Probably in the lower end.
Raise your voice. Not even prospects, and already aspiring to be kings?
Wow, you boys are ambitious. Only prospects and already planning a coup in the skulls. You're destined to go far.
The lieutenant's voice rings over the plaza.
He gets it. Passive-aggressive flattery.
Shut the fuck up. Are you trying to get us killed?
The youth presses through his clenched teeth. There's panic in his eyes.
Now bring it to the jackets and, yes, start shouting.
Yes, we're gonna be cool killer skulls too, like you guys. But we don't have skull jackets.
Please be quiet. What? What do you want? The jackets?
Not much is left of the nihilistic rebel at this point. The young man before you is scared out of his mind. Skull King, make shrunken heads out of us.
Fuck you, man. Take them then.
He looks around the plaza. People are noticing him now. You offer us your jackets like that? It'd be impolite to refuse. Reach out your hand. Lower your voice. Yes, the jackets.
Oh, man. Okay. I get it. Skulls don't really wear slogans anyway. This was stupid.
His shoulders slump under the weight of sadness.
Fuck.
Oh, and 5 XP. Turn to Kim. Since you said you're more of a piss faggot kind of guy, I'll take the other one.
I'm absolutely okay with not having either one, thank you.
Why not? They're a pair. You could really raise hell. Go undercover. Hard.
This case doesn't require us to go undercover or raise hell. In fact, I don't think the jackets will be useful at all. I just wanted them to not have them anymore.
Cold-hearted cop.
Well, whatever. I'll take both of them then. Still, it's good to know we have a pair. In case the need arises.
The need will not arise.
The jackets are meant to complete each other. If a man was standing alone on a street corner with piss written on his back, it'd just be an individual that has taken a liking to urine. And fuck the world, all on its own, is, frankly, generic.
I don't know, Eric. It's cold out.
The dark-haired man just stands there, defeated. The wind blows.
Yeah, let's get out of here. The cops fucked us.
Alright. Well, way up here, we have the piss jacket. +1 to drama, no fucks given, -1 to authority. Wait, I'm a detective? A leather jacket that quite recently belonged to a young man who possessed some intimate knowledge on the human condition. It has his own nom de guerre written on the back. It's quite a statement. And then the Fuck the World leather jacket. +1 half-light, darkening world, -1 to rhetoric. An elegant statement. A leather jacket that quite recently belonged to a hoodlum who understood love for what it really is. It has the hoodlum's nom de guerre written on the back. It's quite a statement. Oh, that's a look, Harry. That is a look. Let's try to keep it professional with our amphibian hat on. Although, this guy... Yeah. Perception's at 5. Yeah, logic's back to 7. Yeah. 92 experience. Okay, well, we'll definitely level up after this conversation.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? I'm afraid they're closed. It says here that the library...
Oh, they don't open till 10. Oh, for fuck's sakes.
57.
In the cabin, you see a...
They're not open till 10. Lousy. They're worse than banking hours. Okay, well, I guess we won't go get experience in the next conversation. Oh, you know, I'm curious.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip, then made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
So, because of our interfacing being absolutely maxed out, wow, hand-eye coordination, crazy. We could, oh, get out of this conversation. If we have a 58% chance of opening the ledger here, if that fails, we have one more opportunity if we pop some Preptide. Might as well. Might as well. I, I, I think we'll get it, though.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of paper. Just relax. The two sides of the board are slightly misaligned, like a drawer that's come off the slides. All you need to do is bend the plastic on your knee, slowly. The slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just, you know.
Slide the drawer open.
Without resistance or sound, the two panels move against each other. The compartment is now open.
What's inside?
2 ticket stubs and a handmade postcard.
So this is interesting here. I definitely remember this on my initial blind playthrough, first playthrough. These 4 options come up regardless. So I was obviously number 4 or number 3, maybe even 4, would be maybe foreshadowing to a replay or whatever, where if you already know what's inside the compartment, I mean, you can kind of like, yeah, just ignore it, even though you passed the check or whatever. But whatever. This is what we're here to do. Let's look at the ticket stubs.
2 octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil drawings. The tickets permit access to the zoo in Revachol East. The aquarium costs extra. These let you go there, too.
Yeah. Pick up the card.
Thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling when you pick it up. You see violet flowers, floral patterns, patches of glue.
Smell it first.
It smells of chewing gum, apricot flavored. Exactly like the gum wrapper you found. The same brand of chewing gum.
Open it.
Familiar handwriting lines the inside of the card. Looped, round letters in a woman's hand. A young woman in her 20s. There is care, effort, and a smile, you think. Although that is not something you can read from someone's handwriting. Harry, it begins. You're already reading. I wanted to write you a letter so you can read it when you wake up. Maybe it will make you happy. Throw it away, please.
Volition. But it'll make me happy.
A merciful wind blows in from the bay of Revachol, dusting the ground at your feet and raising newspapers far away. You feel the card slipping into it.
Let go.
What was that?
Frisson covers your entire body. A feeling of cold, a persistent chill.
It's interesting. So right here, we can absolutely just keep leaning into Harry's ignorance on, his self-destructive behavior, more or less. Or we can, but fuck, man, we're here, yeah. We're not going to throw it to the wind, though. Even though Shivers wants us to. No, we're going to hold on to it. Read the card.
Your hands shake, holding on to it. Every morning when I step out and you're asleep behind me, it says, I find a little piece of sadness in me. I carry it in my chest, down Voyager Road. Every step I take, it grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me entirely. I step onto the light rail and look back. Sparks fall from the bow collector. I know it will be like this until late afternoon, when I get off the 42 and walk back to you. You. Every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes me run. Sometimes I do. I can't believe I met you. I can't believe the happiness I feel with you. You have a vast, vast soul, and I will always, always, always come back to it. Kisses, kisses, kisses. You feel the air sucked out of your lungs and the blood sucked out of your head. Everything around you gets dark. Small white dots appear. Sparks fall like snow from the bow collector. A streetcar distancing. You feel the ledger slip from your hand. No, hold on.
Hold on.
To what? There's nothing.
Detective, is everything all right?
Fall sideways. And look at that. 4 days into the game, I don't know, 20 some hours into it, we finally get the opening title. Welcome to Disco Elysium. Shall we begin?
There is nothing. Again.
Just lie there passed out.
Well, almost nothing. There is the ground below you. That's still there. And the small light that's on, fluttering, somewhere in the basal ganglia.
Who's that?
That's me. Blue eyes, that's me.
And who was that?
Who was what?
He speaks of the sickening longing, the unwell emotion. Even in the darkness, he's grasping for it. Still trying to hold on to the great sorrows slipping in the water. Slimy.
No, I was cool. I'm cool.
The cool when you're dead, brother.
Here in the paleo-mammalian cortex, we call it the shadow.
Paleo-mammalian cortex.
Because it's always there.
Tell him. Tell him.
Ah, yes. In the old factory system, they call it the apricot chewing gum scented one. It's unhealthy of them to linger on it so. But as they say, what do you do?
Smelled so nice.
It didn't smell nice. It smelled like betrayal.
Was that the X something? The...
Bloated corpse of the past resurfacing.
Yes, that.
Don't prod at it. It will start moving again.
Where's Voyager Road?
There is no Voyager Road. There are no roads, no houses, no lights in the windows. It's all on pause.
So my name appears to be Harry?
Your name is fuck all.
It certainly ain't Harry.
Then what is it?
Your name is passed out on the ground, dragged around by one of the other evil apes. They're taking you somewhere.
There was something about a bow collector, too.
Yeah, man. What was that about?
We gain two thoughts while we're passed out. Interesting. Enough. Just lie there, motionless.
You think they would let you? Until you disintegrate into biomolecules? No. Someone is breathing on your face now, inspecting your pupils, stupid idiot.
What is that? It's cold.
Yes, they're pouring something on you. It's in you. And
It's delicious. Glowing lights on a dashboard emerge out of nothingness.
Where am I?
In the upholstered cabin of Lieutenant Kitsuragi's motor carriage, seated in the driver's basket. The air is thick with leatherworks and heavy fuel oil. Cold water runs down your chin.
Drink. Water.
The lieutenant is extending a small canister to your mouth. Drink.
The water is cold, silvery, the stuff of life itself, as it pours down your parched throat. The pounding in your head recedes. The darkness parts.
Drink. You haven't drunk water in 2 days. Did you know the human body is not made to survive on alcohol alone? You need a secondary form of hydration.
You know, I'm more of a magnesium-based life form now. Just drink.
With greedy gulps, you down half a liter of cold water. Some of it spills on the driver's seat. The lieutenant pays no heed to it.
We'll give Kim the benefit of the doubt. It's bad enough for making a mess of his interior. Poor man.
What happened?
I should ask you the same.
You were reading your paperwork. Then you passed out. I carried you to my kinema to take you to a hospital. Then you came to.
Lucky for us, we were standing on the other side of the car, so it wasn't far of a drag for him. It's interesting. No matter what time of day, what time of night, anywhere, you could be by yourself. Kim could be like off. There's opportunities during the investigation where Kim could be like gone for the day and you're on your own. But if you pop that fucking thing open, regardless, Kim comes to your rescue. It's kind of interesting. So it's actually kind of, you can use that to your advantage where, in a playthrough where certain things that you're going to do, Kim's going to be like, okay, if we do this, I'm gone for the day. And then you're on your own and there's not much you can do for the investigation. You can work on this and that, but there's not much you can really get done. And you're like, okay, fine. And then he's gone, and then you pop the compartment. He comes back for the rest of the day. Yeah, it's kind of cool. But anyways, how long was I out?
10 minutes, maybe.
Shit. I came in contact with the burnt out ruins of the past, Lieutenant. I was dehydrated. It won't happen again. Fuck it. Start climbing out of the motor car. Yeah, well, let's be honest with Kimbo.
That does sometimes happen.
So now, being honest with Kimbo, we now have gained the Ledger of Failure and Hatred. He hands you the remains of your ledger.
He replies with such understanding, it's as if the burnt-out ruins of the past were an occupational hazard. Athlete's foot for cops.
You dropped these. Are you okay to proceed?
Just nod.
Good.
Okay. So, as a result, the ledger is now opened. Huzzah. We can interact with this again. So now the Ledger of Failure and Hatred. This is the same ledger you found in the trash, only worse somehow. It makes you think about the letter, about the woman's handwriting, about not wanting to get out of bed in the morning.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip, then made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Browse the case files again?
Arson, petty theft, spousal. You don't exactly close them so much as without resistance or sound. The two panel. It's slightly, ever so slightly, difficult to breathe once you've done so. The drawer is locked. Blue ink drips from the white pages in your hand.
Sorry, I clicked the button. But yeah, we slid it open without resistance or sound. The two panels move against each other. The compartment now open. Inside you see two ticket stubs and a handmade postcard. It's slightly, ever so slightly, difficult to breathe once you've done so, closing the permeables compartment. The drawer is locked. Blue ink drips from the white pages in your hand.
Your hand shakes. You're flushed with adrenaline.
Okay. So the ledger actually has properties that it's... I mean, if you notice on the bonuses from items over on the left-hand side, when I equip it, things change. Authority drops to -3. Inland Empire is up +2. I'm not actually sure what the whole thing is, but I can look it up real quickly here. What? Did I read that wrong? Oh, yeah, so, it doesn't say it on here, but it's supposed to say +1 to empathy, +1 to Inland Empire. Sorry, +1 to empathy, got fucked. +1 to Inland Empire, the unwell feeling. -1 to authority, got fucked real bad. So it'll give us a boost to our Inland Empire and our empathy if we need it. But yeah, we'll unequip that. But we did get 2 new thoughts as well. That is the bow collector. So temporary research bonus, -1 to authority, hell on earth, -1 to hand-eye coordination, hell on earth. Research time, 6 hours, 10 minutes. Sparks fall like snow from the bow collector of streetcar number 42. Slowly down the slope from Voyager Road, then east on the B206, across the river, to where there are now closed factories or ruins. To study at the academy. Electrical cables run overhead and the bow collector draws across them like a musical instrument. A flash. She's standing at the rear window holding onto the rail in a spring coat, waving at you. So the bow collector, obviously with those temporary, 6 hours, that's a thought and a half. So what it's going to do after it's done is give us a permanent +3 to shivers. That's a long road. And then White Morning, although +3 to shivers, I don't think we need it, but it might actually come in handy for... Actually, it would actually be a good thing to have, because we have a check that's coming up that would require massive shivers. Plus, we haven't actually put any points into shivers. Plus, so spend 1 experience or skill point, sorry, to gain 3 levels of shivers is actually not a bad deal. And then the other one was White Morning. And White Morning, again, drops authority, -1. But afterwards, we get a +20% zoom out distance, and all Motorix learning caps are raised by 1. Now, that's kind of curious. Both of those are actually not bad thoughts. I don't know how many we got. If we take those 2, we still have 2 thoughts left. Ay. Okay. Fuck, our authority is going to take a whopping on day 4. But let's do the bow collector. And then I guess we haven't read White Morning. Temporary research bonus, -1 to authority. Little guy gets further and further away. Research time is 5 hours. You see yourself from above. You're passed out on the blue tiles of the hostel room floor. Even from this distance, you can see your eyelids flutter at the mention of what? A great white object letting out its sweet smell like a lily of the valley. The little man's forgotten its name, but he still remembers the feeling. And look, he moves. The feeling animates him. He instinctively reaches out for the feeling's best friend, a bottle of Commodore Red. He puts on his disco clothes and gets smaller and smaller. Okay, so unlock that. White Morning. Yeah. -2 to logic, -2 to authority. Good gravy. So our authority is currently sitting at a flat 0. We have managed to... Logic would be sitting at a 9, I guess, right now, currently, with our equipped clothes. I am curious with the Motorix skills, because we had enhanced both composure and interfacing while we were under the influence of the peptide or whatever. So I'm curious if we're actually going to get a point for that, or if that is actually still going to count towards that. Like, they're like, oh yeah, here's your points. And you're like, but you already had your point. But I guess we won't know until the time passes. So, put down a save. We won't know till we know. Alright. Karaoke, smoking, cigarettes, inspect the victim's body, pissing competition, talk to Claudia. Still haven't done that. Oh yeah, we ran out of time with, we were out till like 2 a.m. Day 3 was a long day. So we still have to do that while Kim's away. That we can't really worry about. Oh yeah, we still have to continue exploring for that. Can't make the phone call. Talk to the old man about the photo, but we should probably... Yeah, it's only 8:45. We'll go down the coast. Did I buy the sneakers? I didn't buy the sneakers.
The speakers below are banged up and worthless. The sneakers triumph over them. They're the star of the show here.
Yeah, let's buy them.
Super cool! Now the premium lifestyle is yours, officer.
The sneakers seem to vibrate in your hands with an almost mystical energy.
Okay, now let me buy the speakers.
The junk is yours, officer. Happy listening. Try not to hurt your ears with that Samaritan garbage.
So we spent $50 for the shoes, spent 50 cents for those speakers, and where are those shoes? Where'd they go? Where'd they go? What the fuck? Oh, they're there. Fallen Ultra Series sneakers. The Ultra Series Fallen sneakers put lightness and grip above all else. With grip tape covered springboard soles and ultralight synth fabric technology, you can exit every corner with the maximum traction of a gentleman's racer. Cool. Encyclopedia -1. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. We do lose that perception. Perception's kind of dropping off the mark here, but that's okay. That's okay. And the speakers are worth $30. How about that? So we bought those shoes for $20, but we needed $50. We basically got them for a coupon. Good deal.
The shine on these sunglasses lasts a lifetime, officer. 100% gap.
And then he had half-light pants in there, and these we can't do anything about.
The gnarled hawthorn tree on Rue de Sanges.
Yeah. Unless we get that extra point in interfacing with the motoric skill from White Morning. I don't know. But let's talk to Roy.
Hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
Have something else to sell.
Sure. Let me have a look.
I have some armor.
Alright. Let's see it.
He knits his eyebrows, thinking, then says, "Just look at this awesome kuras." Show him.
Oh, no. I don't need bloodthirsty mercenaries knocking on my door looking for their missing toys.
He steps back away from the glass.
Besides, this gear costs a fortune. There's no one in Martinez with that kind of money.
It feels like he would have accepted the risk if he hoped to profit from it. It's not greed, though. Deep down, he's a gambler, provided the stakes are sufficiently interesting.
Alright, well, let's check our pockets.
Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Okay, so we'll get rid of our postcard. Postcard, we need that. I'm gonna hold on to this for now, but I am selling the speakers. And we haven't really done the production schedule filament yet. I wanted Kim to be around for that. So I guess that's basically what we're selling.
Another time, perhaps.
And we're back to $40. All right, Kimbo, let's get out of here. We got a murder to solve. I should put Harry in the full phone set. Do I have the full phone set now? Am I wearing the gloves? Yeah, I am wearing the gloves. I think there's a scarf, isn't there? No. Sunglasses, maybe? There. I swear he's running faster.
And Mikhail noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with.
A blond man stands next to his son, pointing to the weather-worn ruins. He sees you approaching and smiles.
You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez? I'm Khan Hailostam. You must be Kim Kitsuragi, right? I was just telling my son about this building. Not a lot of people realize the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
Nice to meet you.
Hold on. Hypertext?
Yes, hypertext. Young Carp and the collection of cultural hyperlinks.
He says as if self-evident.
He's just making up fancy words. This doesn't mean anything.
Wait, what was that about the windows before?
Oh yes, so Mikhail. They had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago. So they didn't have windows on the south wall.
You and Kim know each other?
No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers.
He rests his hand on the boy's shoulder. The child stays behind, or hidden behind them, hidden behind the hem of his father's coat, clutching to his worm-themed coloring book. Worm?
Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into worms lately.
The man speaks in the artificial cadence of a professor, or someone who's been on too many radio shows.
But I assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the Coalition landed in 08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in Revachol West.
He points to the building again.
Wow, get a load of this guy. He really enjoys his trivia. The Orbis programming language was named after its inventor, Victor Orbis, a cybernetician from Grad. They run Vox in the Occidental countries.
I'm looking for a suspect. Have you seen anyone suspicious around?
No, I'm afraid I can't help you with this one, officer. It's just a regular day off for me and Mikhail here.
He pats his son's head.
So you haven't seen anyone around?
No, I'm sorry. As I said, this is just a day off. We just arrived anyway.
He's telling the truth. He hasn't seen anyone.
What's so fascinating about an empty old building?
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building.
He raises his hand to his eyes, springtime sun warming his handsome face. All four of you turn to admire the mural before you.
What not a lot of people know is this used to be the R&D department of Felt Electrical. And Felt which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once a top dog in the turn-of-the-century cybernetics boom.
Look at the building looming over you.
It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the collapsed rooftop. Some kind of bird has set up a nest on a broken windowsill.
I don't think I've ever heard of this Feld Electrical.
That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains.
He adjusts his suit jacket.
They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era. Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve, or should I say they were developing an ace up their sleeve. I'm mixing my metaphors here.
What was the ace?
It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for a tape computer.
He pauses for effect. Tape computer?
Mm-hmm. An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution. Revolutionizing business machines, possibly even bring them to the average consumer, which is a feat of engineering even today's giants, Rehm, ICN and ZAM, haven't achieved yet.
He grins, admiring the sentence he just produced.
He assumes something like a combat stance, facing the wind.
What happened?
Indeed. What?
The revolution!
The boy wipes his nose on his sleeve.
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes. Possibly from this very building, or one of the adjacent ruins.
He pauses, pointing to the other building, then continues.
All of this was built by Feld, even the boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D.
You're saying that Feld Electrical built this boardwalk? Look under your feet.
Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war.
A pleasure wheel?
The lieutenant looks wistfully at the horizon, as if picturing gondolas rising to the sky.
Yes, to lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinez was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had to make the prospect of living here attractive. It was supposed to become a global center for innovation in cybernetics. But history had other plans.
What happened to the engineers? The company people?
Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. But this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail here. Now, if you were to ask about tape computers...
He smiles again, as if he's somehow personally responsible for this bleak turn of events.
He means that. The boys got shot by the communists. The boys were bourgeois.
Turn to Mikhail. He means they all got shot in the head because they were bourgeois. Now, do you know what a bourgeois is? Tape computers, right.
Tape computers.
He nods, wind tasseling his suit jacket. What did the revolutionaries do with those advanced tape computers?
They used them for military communications, but also to write and send out press releases, the most notorious example being Le Décret de Mars.
He says while his son looks up, idly chewing on the corner of his Verne-themed coloring book.
What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02.
A short-lived legislative foundation for a short-lived utopia.
It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept album, Bon Baiser dans ce Lind. You should read it. Every local library in Revachol stocks a copy of the decree. I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention.
He looks at his son, who starts giggling, his face hidden behind the book.
The kid takes a peek at the green and silver worm on the cover of the book, already forgetting about this part of the discussion.
How did those tape computers work?
Actually, no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like. But word has it, they were very elegant, exquisite, alien-looking turn-of-the-century hardware.
He raises his finger, remembering something.
Buckle up.
10 years ago, I did a little freelancing, I guess you could say. I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Wompty Dumpty Dum Center in Vredefort, Oranje. It raised the same questions, and we had lengthy discussions with Paul Ackerman, who was head curator at the time. This was before the twins Keith and Guy Juice joined the team, trying to...
Wait, did he just say Wompty Dumpty Dum Center? He did it. He said Wompty Dumpty Dum Center, like it's the most natural thing in the world. What the hell is a Wompty Dumpty Dum Center? And who the hell are Keith and Guy Juiced?
Okay, the Wompty Dumpty Dom Center, Paul Ackerman, Keith and Guy Juiced. What are you talking about?
The Wompty Dumpty Dum Center for Contemporary Arts. The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory, and so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator, Paul Ackerman, chose to...
There it is again, those words. You're making this up. Look to the lieutenant. Kim, is he making this up?
In fact, I'm not. The Wompty Dumpty Dum Center is a place you can visit if you're ever in Vredefort and are ever in the market for an exhibition space / contemporary art research center.
So, before we continue, the Wompty Dumpty Dom Center, -1 to suggestion, encyclopedia passes give... Oh, every time encyclopedia chimes in, we get 10 experience and $2, but we take a -2 to suggestion permanently. I mean, we don't need the money. The experience is nice, but shit, man. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, we'll continue on.
But perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was saying, the device itself was very elegant, fragile even. One could write directly on the tape using a special chemical solution. The machine would then analyze the handwriting, perform operations, and project output onto a white screen. It was a beautiful, delicate thing.
Made of black film and folding tape structures.
Cool.
Very, very cool. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to imagine the revolutionaries setting fire to this precious device. But so they did. The felt playback experiment vanished into the fires of '07.
Wait, the Feld playback experiment?
Yes, the official name of the prototype. Some sources report it as the Feld playback experience, but those are incorrect.
Why did the revolutionaries destroy it?
Who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they're all gone now. All 3 versions of the prototype. Nothing but debris and ashes remain inside that building.
He takes a step back. The boardwalk creaks mournfully in the wind. I wanted to ask you something else.
But of course. What else?
You look like someone who has money. Do you have any money? No, we're good on asking him money. Great, thanks for all the interesting information.
No, thanks to you for having me and little Mikhail here to pick your brain. A very interesting conversation indeed.
Pick your brain? If anything, this was rather one-sided. He did the talking. Whatever.
Rhetoric, whatever. Alright, new level. Huzzah. Only got 2 left. 2 thoughts left. Jesus Lord. Things are wrapping up. Oh, ramping up. Let's go down here. Wompty Dumpty Dom Center. So, temporary research bonus. -1 is suggestion. Outsider. It's only 42 minutes. It's Wednesday evening and something heinously exciting is underway. People have gathered beneath the billowing roof of an oddly shaped trophy building, sipping wine and exchanging opinions. 29-year-old Wunder twins Guy and Keith Yost are the stars of the show with their bomber jackets and white sneakers, head curators of this art exhibition. It's the Wompty Dom D Dommiest event. It's the Wompty Dom D Dommiest event of the year, and all the cool kids have RSPV'd. RSPV'd. Where are you, if you're not there? Yeah, so it's nice with Encyclopedia. Our encyclopedia is through the roof, but I don't know.
You see a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D. A slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now, only a shadow of peeled letters remains. It says, tomorrow is just a whisper away.
Tomorrow is just a whisper away.
Looks like tomorrow never came.
The lieutenant raises the collar of his bomber jacket. Step closer.
Above the mural, a collapsed roof, broken windows set in walls that are cracking and will soon also fall, and the coastal breeze rustling and sighing in the remains of the edifice. Feld Electrical. How ironic. All these dark rooms. Feld Electrical, you only know them as a small company that makes ink cartridges. Looks like they used to be big. There's something in the wind. Sometimes the only way to go forward is to fail first.
Why do I feel like I know this place?
Indeed. Somehow you knew it was here. An urban ruin gutted by looters that once used to consume money and dispense warmth and light. You felt it before when it rained in Martinez, and you felt the cold of the rain. The feeling persists. It has been in you ever since.
Could Ruby be in there?
In there? She could. Or she could be in the identical room over there, or in that boat shack, in that church tower, maybe.
The lieutenant points behind you.
Why single out this one building?
So an impossible shivers of 21 listened to the wind. +3, found the empty trap. +3, heard Lena's true story. +1, confronted the pigs. +1, found the jacket. Okay, well, it's a white check, it shivers. Let us see here. Determine where the oh no, ask Ruby about the village. Looking for Ruby brought you to a mural that you somehow think is important. Inspect it thoroughly. So we have to pass this shivers check. So obviously we have that shivers coming our way. We'll have 3 more points in... Oh, good God. Well, quite a while. So we got to run on some clock here. Sync with Noid. We got to go inside the church to do that. Inside the church, we can talk to the old man, Renee.
The light vanishes inside the concrete slit. The structure goes deep under the earth.
What's in there?
Maybe it's just a storm drain for the sewer.
Kim, any idea what's down there?
No idea. Could be connected to one of the buildings around here.
He takes his glasses off to polish. Think we might find Ruby down there?
We might find her down somewhere. There's an old storm drain system beneath Martinez that's mostly collapsed. Revachol sewage system has been built and rebuilt 4 or 5 times now. In conclusion, she could be under any building.
He puts his glasses back on. But not in there?
I hope not.
He looks into the slit and sighs. Yell ho into the slit.
There's no echo and no answer.
Finish the thought. So that was in reference to that slot below that tree line, right where we're just literally due east of where we were standing. It's interesting that it popped from up here, but whatever. Oh, I actually wanted to go this way. This building over here. Oh, check on the traps. I guess it'll say like the locusts are like dead.
A few locusts trudge along the wall of the trap. The rest are piled in a heap in the corner, dead. No phasmid anywhere.
No phasmid anywhere.
The trap is filled with dead and dying locusts. Most of them aren't moving anymore. You still can't see a phasmid anywhere. A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other.
Look, Kim, even more bullet holes. Something's definitely gone down here.
Correct. The density of the bullet holes is unusual. Even in a general average bullet hole frequency in Martinez sense. Grim affairs.
The lieutenant examines the wall closely.
Meaning, this is a lot of bullet holes. Looks like fully automatic rifle fire. Something you don't see these days.
He brushes the wall with his hand. Why not?
The manufacturing and sale of automatic rifles was curtailed after the revolution. The destructive power of such tools proved to be too much. We do need to retain some humanity in this world.
Alright, visual calculus. +1 bullet holes on the plaza, +1 bullet holes in the backyard, +1 know about the revolution, +1 know about Feld Electrical.
A row of ghostly shades stand facing the wall. There are many of them, a dozen at least, their heads lowered and eyes blindfolded. It's quiet. No sound, no movement. 10 meters away, other shades are lined up in an orderly manner, automatic rifles primed. A gust of wind blows by. The coats of the firing squad flap slowly in the breeze. A single person stands on the side. Snowflakes fall on the wooden planks and the surrounding sand dunes, covering the land with the white of innocence. A long time has passed since the moment of this fusillading. Rain and brine have since washed all the blood away. Not a trace remains.
What is this?
The abundance of bullet holes leads to two options. Either an inordinate amount of executions were performed here, or they did not use a conscience round, where only one soldier has the loaded rifle. Looks like this was a mass execution with everyone fully armed.
Jesus. Yeah, I mean, just the idea of those two descriptions of the options, right? So it's the abundance of bullet holes leads to two options. Either an inordinate amount of executions were performed here, or they didn't use the conscience round where only one soldier has a loaded rifle. Yeah, so they just lined up against the wall and just emptied clips. Look at the people against the wall.
A host of men, probably in everyday clothes, ragged from the conflict and covered in dust. They were not sitting, a common practice for executions in some nations, as demonstrated by the height level of the bullet holes. They stand, facing the wall. It's impossible to discern any details about their personality or background.
Look at the line of soldiers.
7 men in combat uniforms and dark coats, holding automatic rifles aimed at the people. Soldiers from some side, but from which one?
Look at the person standing on the side.
The commandant, the one who gives the order. Machine gun fire crackling through the air. The lights of the muzzle flashes dancing on his face.
Kim, who was who in this execution? Jesus, the wording.
I don't know. I don't know who died here, lined up beside that horrible wall. It could have been any of the parties involved in the revolution.
At first, the lieutenant doesn't say a word. He just stares at the wall. I don't know, he finally says.
Perhaps the ones executed here were the loyalist conservatives, killed by the communists at the start of the Civil War. Or it could have been the communists, put to death during the last stretch of the conflict by the coalition forces.
Remember what Trent Heidelstein said about Feld?
What if it was the Feld personnel with their assets were being seized by the revolutionaries?
Another likely scenario.
The lieutenant nods.
Or maybe...
What about people from the coalition? The so-called moralists?
Yeah. It's very unlikely the coalition forces were the ones who died here. They were always the last ones against the wall. To be honest, if a coalition member was anyone in this situation, it was the commandant, the superior giving the orders.
Goodbye.
A cold sea wind blows away the figures. Behind this building, the other one, once filled with engineers and designers of Feld Electric, now collapsed and dead, but for some rats. You feel drawn, for some reason, to the faded mural again.
Oh. The boards crack dangerously as you run. Be careful here. Oh. A door, a building, a hiding place. Could the instigator be inside? Well, 9:30. Still got another half hour to kill before we can report or make the phone call to the library. Shame, really. Well, I suppose we can go talk to Renee. That shouldn't be too long of a conversation. Figure out what these two old men were feuding about. I should probably put on my actual outfit here. I mean, yeah. Those shoes are really doing nothing for me. My logic hat, perception, yeah, that's fine. I guess the gloves. Running in my fallen tracksuit. Oh, they're over here. Ooh,
Son, you've really let yourself go. It's a disgrace. But Coach Physical Instrument is going to get you back in prime condition, even if it takes 1,000,000 push-ups.
Coach Physical Instrument? Does that mean you'll call me Maggot and Nancy Boy to motivate me?
Does a master swordsman insult his own blade? No. I'm going to turn you into an athletic benchmark, you big pussy.
No. And then That's good stuff. That's good comedy. Yes, sir. Forge me into organic steel, coach.
It's going to take blood, sweat, piss, and tears. But when I'm done with you, boy, you will be a master athlete.
Wait, why piss?
When a man sets his mind and body on something and gives his 110%, he is sometimes going to piss himself. It just happens. No shaming that.
Let's do this, coach. I'm with you.
Behold, world. Here walks a sportsman, hands choked and hair kept back with a bandana. The Homo athleticus.
Homo athleticus. So yeah, coach physical instrument. Now, if we're going to look up coach physical instrumenter. Oop. So, coach physical instrument, where are you? There you are. -1 to 2 encyclopedia for a temporary thought. We get a +2 to physical instrument if shirt slot is empty. So we get a +2 to physical instrument if we're not wearing a t-shirt, and we still have a -1 to encyclopedia. Yeah. That's kind of funny. Although, that being said, with the even not even having the thought, having it just unlocked can just have it appear in conversation, I guess. So -2 encyclopedia, intense workout. It's only 40 minutes. So you're minding your own business, trying to get some detective work done, when suddenly a voice emerged from within you and told you you're a wuss, a namby-pamby, a sissy, and a limp jellyfish. This voice has zero gender sensitivity and even less empathy for underwhelming athletic performance. Try to purposely piss it off, see if it teaches you something. Pretend you don't know the difference between a double and a single support phase and the discipline of hammer throw. It hates that. Fuck. This game is so weird. Can I talk to...
I have really outdone myself. This is divine.
He takes a bite of his sandwich.
Yes, that's what you need, Gaston. More padding on that fat arse of yours. I hope your heart gives out.
René, it's a little pleasures. Life doesn't need to be a struggle. Hello, officer. How might I be of assistance on this fine day?
Tell me, what do you know about the dead man?
Let me think. I heard someone was hanged and left on a tree for a week. But that's all I know, really.
He looks at the clouds wistfully. Come on, you must have heard something.
No, officers, I'm sorry. And I really would like to assist. You are both good guys. I can see that.
He adds, smiling apologetically.
Then help them, you wimp. You have plenty of shoulder with the gauche caviar in the Union. Someone must know something.
Reproach fills his eyes.
He means caviar socialists.
I wish I could, but I just don't know anything. I always keep my nose clean and don't gossip. Everyone knows and respects that.
His cheeks turn red.
Odd. He doesn't seem to be lying, but there's something off here.
Sounds like a bit like you're holding back.
I'm not even anyone.
Of course he's holding back. His mouth is so full of Union prick he can't even speak properly.
The carabinier crosses his arms.
Can I at least finish my fucking sentence before you piss on it? Is that okay, René? I'm not anyone impotent in the Union. I just know Evrard.
His eyes are furious. How do you know Evrard?
Everyone in Martinez knows the Clare brothers. I taught these boys human studies and history in the gymnasium.
He says solemnly.
What do you know about history? You never witnessed history. Only heard about it years later, when it had already moved on. You don't know history.
The carabinier snaps at Gaston.
The old soldier mumbles something under his breath and turns to face the sea. There he stands, proud, rigid and alone, like a cracking marble statue.
Let's try not to get caught in a crossfire.
Are you a union member?
Oh, in many ways, yes. Like an honorary member. I attend meetings and parties, help with little things. Evrard, Edgar, and the older debardeurs all know me.
In many ways?
Oh, yes.
So you're not an actual member?
Not in the technical sense. I don't have a vote or a membership card, but Evrard keeps me on the payroll, just for the little things.
His eyes fixed on the bowls in the crater.
So that's what it was before. Him hiding something. He tries to make it look like he's a big deal in the Union, and now the illusion is disintegrating before your and Renee's eyes. He doesn't know anything, because no one tells him anything. He's an outsider.
Of course he's not a member. He's not a member of anything. I knew that. He's a Weservain. Turns the way the wind blows and tries to look important. I hate this socialist rabble, but even siding with them is better than living your entire life on the fence. Never committing to anything. Pick a damn side already.
What are the little things you do for Evrard?
Writing work mostly. Occasionally, he needs something written, and I happen to have a way with words, people say.
What kind of things do you write for him?
Oh, nothing official, I assure you. Just essays for the newspapers. About Martinez and how things are and how they could be. Evrard and I have these long talks where...
Well, he tells his little pen man exactly what to say. It's commie propaganda, plain and simple. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I do little things for Everett myself. Nothing wrong with that. I do little things for Everett too. I feel terrible about it. Let's stay on track here, guys.
On the Union track?
Yeah, right. Are you a caviar socialist?
I don't even consider myself a regular socialist. Politics is not really something I involve myself in, officer.
Wait, how can you write those newspaper pieces if you're not political?
Officer, I have a vivid imagination. And like I said, I have a way with words. That's enough. No need to sink into politics.
He just fluffs it up.
Of course. Don't sink into anything. Don't sink into any fight. Only sink into your couch.
So you are a Weathervane.
I prefer highly adaptable myself. Has a better ring to hit, don't you think?
Oh, mon Dieu.
The Carabinier closes his eyes like he's never going to open them again. Thanks, that's all for now.
No, thank you. For being consummate professionals. You'll have this case wrapped up in no time.
He nods, smiling wide. What are the rules for this game?
Oh, the goal is to throw your bull. As close to the cochonnet as you can.
He holds out an orb.
That's the cochonnet.
He points to a small wooden ball in the middle of the crater. Interesting. Tell me more about it.
Well, first, you draw a circle about a half a meter in diameter. We made ours out of rope. Then, the order of play is determined by a coin toss. You win it. You get to throw the cochonnet. Then, the players aim to throw their bulls as close to the cochonnet as possible. They must stay in the circle and keep both feet planted.
Is there anything else you can tell me about Petanque?
I could, but I'd rather not. I don't want to take up your time with trivial details, officer.
Is he denying you information when you clearly requested it? That's it. We're blowing the lid off this man jar. You need to know things.
So, trivial? Ha! Ha ha ha! Grin at the man. You can still tell me, before anything happens. Jeez, eh? But I do really. And why?
Yes, you do. Knowledge is
But do
power.
I really, and why?
Bathe in it. Empower yourself. Trust me. All that blunt data must have triggered an information hoarding reflex of sorts. Think of it like a small seizure. It will pass.
I think I get it. Thanks, Gaston.
Yes. I'm sorry, officer.
The senior is visibly shaken before you.
Good. Gaston finally understands the rules now. Let's see if it makes him a better pétanquista.
An evil smile runs across his lips.
I don't like where this is going, officer. Don't you think we should do something else now?
No, I want to talk to him. I promise. It won't be about pétanque.
Hurry up, then.
Looks delicious. Point to the sandwich. Can I have a bite of that?
I'm sorry, officer, but I really don't share food. Nothing personal, it's just a principle.
He says and quickly adds.
The only one you have.
Suddenly you realize how hungry you are. The last time you ate must have been, God knows when, aeons ago. Probably when you were still a child. The sandwich looks like a culinary wonder. Well made and abundant in components. The author sure knew their craft. In addition to the obvious slice of ham, a fat one, you notice a brim of a tomato peeking from below. And is that mayonnaise?
Don't be a dick, Gaston. There's plenty for everyone. Okay. I'm not that hungry anyway. Please, man. Can I just have a bite? No. We won't push it.
Oh, that's good. That's very good. You must have other business then?
We don't want to piss off Gaston. He's alright. He's alright. We'll try this, though.
A man so principled about his sandwich calls for a principled approach. Time to get political.
I'm already tripping knee-deep in politics, baby.
You really do. Now, unleash the fury.
These options seem awfully fascist, or the city's gonna shit. Sooner or later, some foreign anarchist is gonna steal your sandwich. That's a fact. Your blood sandwich, point to it, is a tool of the oppressor designed to keep the proletariat docile. Yeah. These options seem awfully fascist or communist. What if I don't want to say them?
Say one of these fascist or communist things, or fuck off.
Oh.
Whoa. Easy there, Goldmouth. He doesn't have to say anything. Re-engage cop mode and bail out, if you like.
Back to police mode, smile and nod. I have some questions, Gaston.
All right.
Oh.
Let's hear them, officer.
Look at that. I just got the unbelievably boring fuck trophy. Say 7 incredibly boring things. Bye for now. We weren't even here to talk to you.
Vigilance officer, what can this old carabinier do for you?
He salutes you. Let's see. I guess I say about the guard booth?
Yes. The Debardeurs Union pays me to stand vigil during the night. I'm an old man. Don't sleep more than a few hours every night anyway, and money is tight.
I saw a picture in there. You were in it. Who's the girl?
She is nobody. This is none of your concern, and I refuse to discuss my private affairs with the RCM.
His features stiffen, and he gets a cold look.
The lady is Jeanne-Marie Beaulieu, and she sure as hell wasn't a nobody.
Okay. Got it, thanks.
Yes. Like I said, it would be up anyway, so might as well keep an eye out. It keeps my senses sharp.
Well, I mean, our composure is I mean, we're never going to have a better chance at it.
Still, all you see is an old soldier refusing to replace his uniform with a civilian attire.
Anything else I can assist you with, officer? We still have a game to finish.
Yeah, okay. Well. Okay, well, that's that. I guess I'm selling your picture, Renee. I mean, it's worth a whole $1.21. You didn't want it. Oh, no, wait. I should hold on to it. Now that I think about it, I should hold on to it. We'll hold on to it. Anyways, that's done. So, oh yeah, we gotta talk to our Sunday friend. I don't think he's in the whirling. He's probably at home. He might be against the... Oh, no, he's right there. He's right there.
Hi again, Gendarme.
I need to talk with your Sunday friend again. It's about committee business.
Oh, a committee. How interesting.
He smiles.
And if I may ask, Gendarme, what is this committee about?
He takes a measured drag of his cigarette.
He's all bemused skepticism. He doesn't actually care what you want with his friend.
I'm not really sure. I'm just trying to reach a higher authority. It's about signing La Responsabilité.
God, of course it is. My friend is always trying to convince me I need a little more responsibility. As though I don't have enough going on already. In any case, I would love to help. But the thing is, I don't know where he is. We don't talk about everything, you see.
He gently taps the end of his cigarette with his forefinger.
He might have mentioned something about making a tour of some historical sites up the coast. In an unofficial capacity, of course.
Do you know when he'll be back?
Not a clue. I'm not his agenda keeper, you see.
Guess I'll have a look for him along the coast.
I guess you will.
Okay.
Bye-bye, Gendarme.
So, the smoker says his Sunday friend has gone for a stroll along the coast. Yeah, I don't know about getting that tape out. It's a real shame, too. I was hoping to get that tape. I guess we still have to go into the church. We have 9 minutes to kill before we can phone the library. Reinvestigate the mural again. Well, actually, we got 6 minutes to kill. We can have this conversation.
You look like shit.
Your ruffled face reflects in the man's sunglasses.
And I don't mean that as a metaphor.
You look like shit, asshole. I don't look like shit. I know, it's intentional. The last couple of days have been rough. Looks don't matter. It's what's on the inside that does. I'm never gonna get this case solved. I know, it's intentional.
Like undercover?
The woman in the RCM uniform interjects.
Well, as far as disguises go, this is one of the best I've seen. I mean, I could swear you're an actual bum.
Oh, come on, Jean. It looks like it's been a rough week on him.
It's not just this week. What do you want?
He scans you from head to toe.
There's something about this guy that matches with a face in your head. A similar but different face. He might be wearing a disguise.
Kim, who is this guy?
I'm not getting involved in this.
He shakes his head. Alright, cool shades. Are you wearing a disguise?
Yes, it's a hobby of mine.
He looks at you inquisitively.
As if waiting for some kind of reaction or response. Something to click. It's not happening, though. Who is this guy?
Well, our esprit de corps is at a 2. It's a white check. Called our station. Got some questions for you. I'm a cop.
About what? You don't look like a cop. You know what you look like?
Like a prophet? Like a revolutionary? Like a sack of shit? Like a megastar? Like Guillaume Le... I don't know. You tell me. Like a man down on his luck? I'm trying real hard here, man.
Oh, well, go solve your case then. That would count as trying hard.
Wow, he seems taken aback for a moment. Now will you answer some questions for me?
No.
Why not?
'Cause it's not my job. Why don't you go and fucking do yours and solve this damn hanging?
If you don't want to answer questions, maybe you want to hear me say things.
Actually, I don't want to hear you say things.
Come on, Jean.
Okay, say things. I want to hear you say things.
He adopts a lighter tone. Okay, I'm doing this investigation. A man is hanged.
So, do you know who hanged him?
Not yet.
Yeah, I can see that.
Why am I even telling you this?
I don't know. Why are you?
He gives you an odd look.
It's like you felt it would be intellectually stimulating and would lead somewhere. A custom even? Strange.
Oh my god, there's more. You want something more? What is it?
Well, I guess, yeah, okay. See you around.
Watch out for yourself, loser.
That voice, so very familiar. Did you hear it when calling to your station and reporting your badge missing?
Wait, your voice. I recognize it.
Oh really? I wonder where.
I lost my badge recently. When I called in to report it missing, you were there.
That's the where you remember me from?
Yes, I haven't seen you before. Maybe. I have a bit of point your head. Memory trouble.
You don't say. Goodbye then. The voice thing was a coincidence. Run along, asshole.
He turns away from you. Alright, well. It's 10:05. We won't talk to her. But we are gonna go make a phone call. Well, a radio communication.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Hold on, officer.
Okay.
I've got Central Jamrock Public Library on the line, and I've already introduced you to their librarian. Connecting the call in 2, 1.
Yes, this is Central Jamrock Public Library here. How can I help you, officer?
A male librarian answers the call. I'm looking for information that you can provide on Billy Majon, a reader.
Billy Majon, you said. Give me a moment, I'll have to check our database.
He puts down the receiver.
On Moreau Drive in central Jamrock, in a darkened hall lit by orange desk lamps, far away from the noise outside, a middle-aged man taps commands into an old radio computer. A printout falls on the desk. Behind him, a lonely reader scours some dusty bookshelves, looking for a paperback.
Yes, hello, are you still there? I found Billy Majon's home address, is that alright? No phone number, unfortunately.
You can hear him fiddle with the printout.
They're too poor to have a phone line.
Yes, home address is fine.
Here we go, sir. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33B, apartment number 20. It's in Martinez, I believe. Capeside Apartments, it says. That's all.
Do you have any other information on Billy Majon?
It says here that they returned their last book just a few days ago, but I wasn't at work that day.
Do you know someone who was?
Marie? Marie? Do you remember a reader named Billy Majon? They returned a Tybalt book the other day.
You hear someone answer from afar.
Yes, it was my colleague Marie. She said that it was Billy's husband who returned the book. He also asked for this new sci-fi release, Lowe's Radio City 87, but we don't have it yet.
Good. You have a name now.
So Billy Majon is a woman, not a man. How did your colleague know that it was her husband?
Marie knows Billy. She's been working here longer than me. Sometimes her husband returns some books for her.
Do you know the husband's name?
Sorry, no. Marie only knows him by sight.
Can Marie describe me what the husband looked like?
Marie!
A moment passes.
She said it was an older man, and that she's pretty sure he'd had a drink or two the last time she saw him.
What was he wearing?
1 second.
The librarian turns away from the phone again and relays the question.
Sorry, Marie wasn't really paying any attention to that.
Thank you. That's all from me. I have no other questions. End call with the library.
Happy we could help. Goodbye, officer.
The librarian hangs up, and the call gets redirected back to the station with a soft click.
Anything else you need from me?
I think that's it. Yeah, no, we're good.
57th, over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set.
So, dead body on the boardwalk. Now we have to go to Billy Majon's apartment to deliver the bad news. Hey, buddy. Just hanging out. You hear the sound of running water. Someone's washing dishes.
The door is closed again. Nothing to do here anymore. You hear someone inside, walking from room to room. Whoever lives here must be back home.
Oh, did I? Yeah, okay, no. Seeing things. Just put a save down. It's been a hot minute. Nothing else to grab in here, no. Back in Kuno's apartment. Oh, there's something here. Kuno de Reuter, the name of an unfinished... is the name on unfinished homework. It's from 2 years ago.
The aging alcoholic is still...
Curious about this door.
This door is made of metal and...
No, yeah, okay.
A weathered brown door. The number reads 20. Something smells good. Soup à l'oignon.
À l'oignon?
The lieutenant motions to you to go ahead and knock. Get yourself together. It's just police work.
Hold on, Kim. We should discuss this before we move on. What should we expect?
You're right. Let's talk this through.
He looks at the apartment door and lowers his voice a bit.
You hear some light footsteps and what appears to be a daily weather forecast playing on the radio.
We have our first preliminary identification. In all likelihood, the deceased is the husband of Billy Majon. We need to confirm this, as well as deliver the death notification to Billy herself. Now, delivering a death notification is never an easy task. There's a reason why it's often called the most stressful part of our job. This is why it's usually done in pairs. You got this. I'll be monitoring reactions, ready to act if necessary.
Do you have any advice on how to tell her he's...
dead? Just don't say that you know how they feel. You don't.
What if I don't want to do this? Kim, I don't want to do this. Let's turn around. All right. I think I'm ready.
The lieutenant motions towards the door.
Knock.
Hello? Who is it?
A voice calls out from the other side of the door.
And someone turns down the radio.
Look at the lieutenant first.
He gives you a short, encouraging nod.
Is this Billy Majon's home? This is the police. Please open the door.
The police? A moment, please give us a moment.
You hear shuffling inside.
Tidying up. Nervously.
Come in. The door is open.
She unlocks the door. Okay. A chalk-drawn height chart for children's growth over the years. I have one of those. Posters of contemporary pop stars adorn the walls. Textbook for high school, mathematics, trigonometry mostly. The clock is ticking away with an odd cheerfulness. An empty pack of Red Aster cigarettes hidden under the bed. The same brand of cigarettes you found in the trash next to the deceased. Windows covered in old newspaper clippings. Can't they afford curtains? Packages of humanitarian aid macaronis. Some leftovers kept warm on a stovetop. Okay.
It's you from the bookstand. Did you come to bring my cockatoo back?
She smiles nervously before the smile vanishes from her face.
I don't think I introduced myself properly. I'm Billy. Would you like something to drink? Tea? Lemonade? We're out of coffee.
She looks around the kitchen.
The lieutenant has taken off his foggy glasses and is busy cleaning them in his handkerchief. For now, you're on your own here. Condensation from stepping inside.
Thanks, but I'm all right.
Is this about Victor, my husband? Is he in some kind of trouble again? I can come pick him up in the station if that's what.
She stops, her eyes trying to read answers from your face.
Keep it together. You don't want your body language to tell her the news.
Sorry, I'm rambling. It's just that Victor often gets into all kinds of trouble. So, how can I help you?
She shakes her head and tries to laugh it off.
How about some small talk before you break the news?
One empathy. Oh, God. So, how have you been?
How have I been? You're not here to discuss me. What is this about, officer?
Can't write a scene without knowing the actors. Ask more. Get comfortable around her.
Yeah, see, saw that coming. Too much small talk. You live here with Victor, your husband, right?
It's me, Victor, and the kids here. We have 2 daughters, Jenny and Jolie.
How old are your daughters?
Jolie is 16 and Jenny is turning 18 next month.
Look around. And where is everybody? I don't see anyone home.
The girls are staying at their friend's place tonight. And Victor is out.
She swallows visibly.
He still hasn't come home?
No. Why? Do you have any news?
To your knowledge, did he make it to the library?
No. I guess I'll find out when he decides to come back home.
She looks at the front door.
It shouldn't be long from now. He's never gone for more than a few days.
What was the name of the library?
Oh, it's in Jamrock. The one at Mayrow Street. I don't know the official name.
Central Jamrock Public Library?
I think, yes, if that's the one on Mayrow.
It is.
What was he supposed to do in the library?
Just to return a book of mine. Why? Why all those questions, Detective? Did he...
What was the name of the book?
I think it was, Thibaut's The Glinting Curve. It was pretty good.
Tell me again, what was he wearing when you last saw him?
His old leather jacket.
Can you describe it?
It's just your average brown leather jacket, but he bought it as a teenager, so...
What about the inner lining?
Yes. The lining is hand-sewn. It's blue. I tried to make the thing more weatherproof since he's running around with it in the middle of winter.
There's something else I have to tell you.
She folds her hands across her chest. Here it comes.
I noticed you cooking something. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Wow. 28%. Should have just went right for the, Oh, well, here we go.
I don't want to.
Yeah, we failed that. Wait, what?
There has been enough pain.
But we have to.
I don't want to do this.
Turn to Kim. I don't want to do this. Turn to Kim. It seems like there's a part of me that's refusing to do this. Slap your cheek. Stupid, stupid. Just say it. Oh, wow. Yeah. I'll say number 2. It's the closest thing to saving face, besides slapping my own.
Do what?
Officer.
The lieutenant warns you.
Too late. You ruined it. Just say it now.
Your husband's dead.
Excuse me? What? What did you say?
She's in pain. She's in so much pain. And so are you. Your chest is burning.
Oh, I had another heart attack.
We are very sorry to inform you, but your husband, Victor Méjean, was found dead this morning on the Martinez boardwalk.
Oh.
She touches her neck, eyes pale like pearls in seawater.
Oh. But he was just...
She looks at the kitchen table where 2 cigarette butts are still in the tray.
I understand that this comes as a huge shock. I want you to know that me and my partner are here for you if you have any questions. We are very sorry for your loss, ma'am.
What happened to him? Tell me.
Her neck and cheeks are covered with red blotches. Her double chin is shaking. He fell and smashed his head against the bench. Trust me, ma'am. You don't want to know. Jesus Christ.
And you just found him there? Lying in the cold?
She shakes her head.
How long had he been there?
For a few days at least.
She doesn't reply. Her eyes well up with tears as she struggles to keep it together. You hear the clock ticking in the children's room.
Is there anyone we could call for you? A friend, a family member, someone who could be here for you?
No. I just need to tell my girls.
The air gets sucked out of her lungs suddenly.
It burns like acid. Unreal.
God. Should I call them? Should I tell them to come home?
Smack your lips. Look away. Jesus Christ. Yes.
All right. I'll call them.
She breathes in again, trying to steady herself.
Just tell me, what do I need to do next? Where is he? Can I see him?
For God's sake, lie.
Why would I do that? I don't know where they go. He's still there on the boardwalk. He's in the morgue.
And who should I contact?
Is this all because I failed the check? So, like, I'm just slipping down this slope of... Fuck, man.
He was taken to the city morgue. The local coroner will be contacting you shortly to arrange the funeral. Here's his number, in case you want to contact him earlier.
He hands her a leaflet with the morgue's contact information.
Is there anything else that the RCM could do for you?
No, I'll call you if something comes up. I'm still a bit...
Sorry I couldn't do this. I have a brain condition. Tap on your head. Jesus Christ. Have some integrity, Harry. Alright, that's it then.
Again, if there's anything we could do for you, then don't hesitate to call the RCM, ma'am.
Oh, I'm gonna get chewed out.
She just nods, distant and inconsolable. The bed springs rattle beneath her as she begins to shake. These are her last reserves of strength. Her muscles will give in soon to a scream.
I'll take it from here. Thank you.
She points at the front door, breathing fast now, holding herself back.
We should step outside and talk.
The lieutenant nods at the woman, then looks back at you, his voice lowered. Set the library card by her. Leave the room. Yeah, he's gonna be like, that was horrible. That went horrible.
So, the death notification.
The lieutenant says as soon as you've left the apartment, that did not go. I'm sorry. I know I fucked it up.
It's alright. Don't worry about it.
His eyes wander over the streets.
I'll call the station when we're finished with the day, and let them know the name of the deceased.
That's it?
That's it. We should get back to our case. There's nothing more we can do here.
What about Billy and her kids?
There's not much we can do for them anymore, I'm afraid.
They have to. It's not your place to live their lives.
Right. Let's try to get back to it then.
And, officer, I've seen worse. This wasn't the worst I've seen, okay? Now let's go.
Okay.
You should return to the boardwalk now that the body has been taken away. There's something you need to see.
What do you mean?
A little something that your visual cortex has put together while you were away. Oh no, it's one of those show, don't tell things, isn't it? You can just stop by whenever you're close. It should be quick enough.
I wonder if this is that, part of that... Hold on. Go back. It's the... Not the deja vu, but the jamais vu update that they did a while back, where they included, like, new trophies and, like, some DLC things. I don't know. I guess we'll find out when I get to the boardwalk. Oh, what's happening? Just gonna cut through your game here, gentlemen. Oop, maybe get up this hill.
The trap is full of locusts, but they seem weak and unhealthy. A few lie on their backs with their legs twitching. Still, no phasmid. cold sea breeze stings your face as you step on the boardwalk. The body is gone. But something still lingers in the air, and high above it, against the grey. A luminous wheel of pleasure, and all things bright. Its wooden frame creaking in the wind. 12 red cabins form a circle that stretches from the engine below to the flocks of seagulls up in the sky.
What are you looking at?
Wow, Wheel of Pleasure and Light. Reconstruct a vision from the past. Study the cabins. The lieutenant follows your gaze but finds nothing but the horizon.
The little wooden gondolas dangle in the wind, their seats empty and floors littered with old ice cream papers and discarded tickets. The pleasure wheel stands still on the boardwalk, its 12 red cabins suspended in the air.
Study the boardwalk.
There's a ticket office made out of an old gondola, its wooden frame the same shade of red as the ones above. A sign mounted on its side declares, 20 centimes for the ride of a lifetime. There are hustlers, addicts, rag and bone merchants, even entire families, if they're particularly destitute, who've turned these cabins into huts and homes in the poorest parts of Revachol.
Wow.
The pleasure wheel stands still on the boardwalk, its 12 red cabins suspended in the air.
Whisper to Kim, it's the pleasure wheel.
The one that Mr. Hiddleston mentioned?
The lieutenant studies your face. The pleasure wheel, it used to take up the whole pier.
Hmm? What is going on with you, detective?
The lieutenant squints.
Decay and death, staring into the cold, hard kernel of things. Smooth like the acid in your stomach. Nothing's going on with you. Everything is perfectly fine. We're just here to look at the pleasure wheel.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on with me. Something's coming apart. I'm just thinking about the pleasure wheel and how it has stopped bringing people any pleasure. Do you think he enjoyed his last moments out here? Do you think he was having fun?
Mr. Méjean?
His gaze moves to the empty bench underneath the street lamp. It looks cold and uninviting, wet from the waves.
Perhaps not fun, but I do think he was trying to make himself feel better, yes. In his own way. But I don't think standing here in the cold is doing you or me any good. Let's go. We've got a case to solve.
The pleasure wheel stands still on the boardwalk, its 12 red cabins suspended in the air.
Step back.
Some waves come crashing against the boardwalk, shattering the mirage.
Yeah, so that was one of those updates from, or one of those trophies from the update. That's kind of cool.
There's some tear, an empty cigarette package.
I think I got like maybe one or two of those on the PlayStation 4 version of the game. Ooh. I thought it had something to do with like, I know that it's interesting, but after you beat the game on hardcore mode, having that save file when you start a new game, Kim's bomber jacket turns black. That's kind of neat. I don't know if there's any other differences, but black bomber jackets are kind of cool on Kim. Just gonna go over here for a moment. Because now that that happened, I wonder if this will happen. Because the seagulls are out.
Just dead and dying locusts, and the slow swaying of surrounding reeds.
There's another one that you can trigger with like a jacket or something along that coastline there with the seagulls, I think. I can't remember. Anyways, Plaza, Ruby. Oh yeah, the sign. We're still waiting. Oh, how much time do we have left on these thoughts? Bow collector is still 4 hours, 2 hours 47 minutes, an hour for Guillaume. Oh, that's taking the long way around. I'm kind of curious about the broken pry bar thing we did. I don't know if it was an... I kind of remember breaking it once before in a playthrough and then going back to the Kim's car and it kind of like another one being there. But I don't know if that was because he had left to go take the body to the morgue, so he had an opportunity to go get another one. I don't know. This is speculation on my part, but I'm pretty sure I can get another pry bar. Maybe they updated it. Maybe they patched it. I don't know. Maybe it was a glitch. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, yeah, this side of the car.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a metallic drawer slides out under the seat.
Take the red tipped pry bar.
The pry bar feels nice and cold in your hand, heavier than you'd think. Cold and heavy, like truth. You feel like you're reunited with truth once more. Useful for opening all sorts of doors and lids. The pull-out toolbox slide.
Yeah. So there we go. We got another one back. Huzzah! Okay. So yeah, I guess we shall look... Oh, we never did talk to him. I guess that we'll fast travel for that. Go to the fisherman shack. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, look. He's right there. So I click on it. Now watch Harry just auto track to him. I'm not touching anything. I literally just double clicked X. Shortest distance.
As you approach, the man turns and greets you with a polite wave.
Ah, super. It's the officer. I was not expecting to run into you again, but things have a funny way of turning out, no? What brings you down to the scenic Martinez coast?
Actually, I was wondering what you're doing out here.
Well, that's très simple. I was visiting the fishing village just north of here. They have applied for a series of microloans to revitalize the old market. And, well, I wished to see the situation firsthand. And then, well, I had some extra time on my hands, so I decided to stroll down here. It's quite peaceful, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yes. There's nothing like a stroll along the coast to lift one's spirits.
You do know there was a mass execution right over there.
Really? Here? How can you be sure?
It's sort of a gift I have. I can reconstruct things that happened in the past. High-end detective stuff. For one, that wall over there is covered in bullet holes.
Ah? Is that what those pockmarks are? I might have guessed. Fascinating how much history is contained right here, if only one knows where to look for it.
You feel like there's something you could say here. If only you really knew what was going on.
Actually, there was something else I wanted to ask you about.
Ah bon? I'm all ears, officer.
I need your help forming a committee. I'm trying to assign la responsabilité.
My friend, if it's la responsabilité you're after, I have good news for you. There's no need to form such a committee, because it already exists.
God, of course it does. These moral intern types.
The Comité de Responsabilité de Revachol. It acts as a sort of clearinghouse for coalition activities. To put it simply, they are the ultimate arbiters of la responsabilité in this part of the world.
Yes, this is just the sort of reasonable authority you're looking for.
I would offer to connect you with the committee myself, but alas, I am not actually in Martinez.
What? Where is he then? He's speaking figuratively. He means he's not in Martinez in his official capacity.
I got it. You're only here on personal business.
Précisément. Officially, I am still in La Delta, preparing for an upcoming conference on fuel oil derivatives. That's why it would be extremely irregular, or potentially even inappropriate for me to intercede with the committee concerning a district I'm not officially in.
But this is an urgent matter. I need to get in touch with the committee.
Yes, you've made your persistence quite clear. Under normal circumstances, I would have to insist you go through the regular channels.
No. You can't let them give you the runaround.
But if you have information of a vital interest, they might be willing to entertain an exception. In which case, I would advise you to contact them via Coalition Warship Archer.
What do I need to go through? Why do I need to go through Archer to speak to the committee?
You see, in addition to being an airborne artillery platform, Coalition Warship Archer is also the linchpin of the Coalition's surveillance and communications infrastructure in Revachol.
Hold on. It's watching us too?
And listening. It has the most objective vantage point in the entire city. Not to mention a vast array of radio, photographic, and meteorological monitoring instruments. I find it a great comfort to know there are benevolent powers watching over all, in strict accordance with the Wayfarer Act and the Bristol-Mune Conventions.
The Bristol-Mune Conventions are a series of international agreements governing the treatment of military personnel and civilians in theaters of war, as well as occupied territories. In practice, they are more talked about than observed.
How does one go about contacting a coalition warship?
This is quite the problem. Very tricky. Of course, the Archer has orders to fire on any unidentified aerostatics that might approach it, so it might be safer to get in touch from the ground. But in that case, you would require a radio transmitter capable of broadcasting on coalition frequencies. And that kind of technology naturally isn't typically available for non-coalition use. Yes, it is a bit of a conundrum. I suppose there might be some way to circuit bend your way onto those frequencies, but you'd have to be one of those techno-tinkerers to do it.
Do you know any of these tinkerers?
Unfortunately not, no. I don't have the pleasure. I am merely a representative of the coalition government, not very well versed in technology. But you...
Perhaps your young friends in the tent might be of assistance?
Let me just say that I have complete confidence in the RCM. I'm sure you'll figure something out.
Thank you for your time.
Always my pleasure to be of assistance to the RCM. Godspeed, and if we don't meet again, bonne chance.
Okay. Find someone with technical expertise to contact the coalition. Curious if... how these are looking. Knick-knack stand. Oh, that's inside the bookstore? Pile of closed. Oh, we can look at that, I guess. Composure, check. I guess we can also go inside the church. We haven't done that yet. I guess we can also talk to these guys first. Talk to Estelle first, maybe? It'd be cool if she was wearing the hat.
Kneels on the sea ice. She looks up as you approach.
So you talked to my associates, right? Are you going to help us? With the church, I mean.
Can't say. Gotta ask questions first.
Shoot.
Cold wind blows. She breathes on her hands for warmth. Your associates tried to use me to set up a drug lab. I'm guessing you knew this plan?
I did, and I'm sorry. For what it's worth. Which isn't much.
She doesn't appear surprised.
This is why I didn't go into the tent. Typical delinquency.
The lieutenant looks at the ocean, squinting his eyes.
You don't get to choose your posse, they choose you. Mine are idiots, but they're mine. I tried to talk Andre out of it. I even tried not to lie to you.
Indeed. She merely tried to omit the truth instead.
Instead, you opted to omit the truth. It's the same thing.
I know, but I knew you'd see through their plan too. I'm not an idiot. I should have been able to control them, and I will in the future. I promise. May I ask, what did you tell them?
Do what you will with the dance club plans, just no drug labs, please.
Thank you. I'll get them under wraps, I promise.
The others told me you went inside the church. What'd you see in there?
Oh, that. You're not going to believe me. There's no point in me telling you.
She's less prone to blurt it out, Crabman, than the others.
We'll see. Go ahead and tell me.
Okay. I went in and I saw a woman next to one of those machines there. Noid calls it a mainframe. She was dressed like someone who's been raised by their grandmother, you know, strange old clothes. Had this absent expression, didn't say anything, just stood still.
Go on.
And then, you know, right behind her, a man crawled down the wall. Upside down like a crab, down the church wall. I think the woman didn't even know he was there. He was completely silent. He stopped right before he got to the floor, then just hung there like that, looking at me. Right at me. I fucking turned around and walked out. End of story.
Like a crab, you say?
The lieutenant nods, his face is stone. What did this crab man look like?
It was too dark. I couldn't tell exactly.
She shakes her head.
Come on. She obviously could. She already went into detail.
Come on, quit stalling on me. What did he look like?
He looked like a banger, okay? He was all muscular and stuff. Had a mesh tank top. I know it sounds ridiculous, but that only made it scarier in a way.
Oh, we have that mesh tank top.
A crab and a banger?
The lieutenant raises an eyebrow.
Yes, a banger. As in a mess gang member. I know what it sounds like, but that's what I saw.
A gangster crab man. Yeah, I don't believe you. You were wrong. You were wrong, I do believe you.
Why?
Seems too ludicrous for a lie. What would you stand to gain?
Nothing. Anyway, what else?
I'd like to know more about your associates.
My associates? I haven't got much to say about them.
What do you mean? You must know something about them.
Of course I do. I just don't tell people about my friends and who they are and so on. I don't provide information on them.
To the cops.
What about you? Tell me something about yourself.
Me? I'm a silver bird.
A silver bird. Feels strangely familiar. Was it an expression? And if yes, then for what? Then your mind slips, and the thought is gone.
Even though it was formidable and it was successful, it still just slips your mind. Interesting. Aha! Okay, maybe I'll ask about this. Maybe I'll ask later about all this?
Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later, but...
Get Estelle to talk about her associates. Okay. Well, that's it for now. Estelle refuses to talk about her friends. Maybe she'll open up later, after you've helped them set up the nightclub. Everyone wants this nightclub.
Hi again. So, how are things going? As always.
The large-headed youth has closed his eyes, lost in the music. Sensing you, he opens them.
Incremental progress! Yeah!
Oh yeah, we turned him into a moralist. Okay. That smiley sticker was all over it inside there. I never noticed that before. That's kind of cool.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood.
Open the padlock with the key.
The lock turns easily. You hear a click as the shackle pops open.
Let's go.
The lieutenant nods at you. Pull on the doors.
A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church, as though rushing to fill a great vacuum. In the heart of the city.
A strange stillness fills you as you look ahead. You should walk here, not run. Okay. Interesting. This grotesque wooden figure looks half finished. This figure was added later. It's not part of the original church. More of the forked lightning pattern you saw outside. Bark beetles? No, it looks intentional. Some long forgotten style. The blackboard is filled with complex equations. They look recent. Two decks of reel-to-reel tape spinning on empty. A portable Harman Woshi tape recorder. It is possible it's recording something? Is it possible it's recording something? Someone's siphoning electrical current from outside into this antenna. Miss Banger's shoes? Miss Banger's red brogues. These dapper snakeskin shoes have an almost invisible white-on-white flower motif sewn on the tongue. The toe caps are still dusty from lying in the church. Empathy in someone else's shoes. Got it. A spider has spun its web around this wood-carved pillar. Oh, I'm running. I didn't mean to run. A cracked pane of glass. Colorful. Frost has drawn flowers on the glass, obscuring the view. Mess Banger's silk scarf. +1 to pain threshold. Bangers don't cry. This huge red scarf is still dusty from lying in the church. A subtle red-on-red embroidery embellishes it with cocky roosters and mesque floral motifs. Motifs? Motives? Figure drawn in frost on the window, depicting a deer. Oh.
The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All the shifting matter and shuffling of living things is gone. Nothing seems to exist beyond the church anymore. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent.
Wait, I think I still hear something.
And then it's gone. Almost all of it, but for the faintest of hums. It seems the sound here is detached from its source somehow, if not blotted out outright. Truly unusual. Sounds like the Pale.
How do I know what the Pale sounds like?
From recordings of the Far Pale. You've heard them. We all have. You can hardly hear your own breathing.
Yell as loud as you can.
Your voice is barely audible. Not a howl, but the softest of whimpers. It's unnerving.
Stomp your feet and clap your hands.
You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more total, somehow.
Turn to Kim. What's happening?
The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head. Then he leans closer.
Can you hear anything?
Almost nothing, and it's beginning to worry me. Not really, but it's extraordinary. I've never experienced anything like this. Can't hear shit.
I wonder why the church was built with such strange acoustics.
Maybe the church was designed this way to prevent boisterous activity, singing and dancing, on its premises.
Maybe they wanted to discourage singing and dancing. What if it's something paranatural? It's probably nothing, just our imaginations. Whatever it is, it's definitely real. Something odd is happening around us.
The lieutenant doesn't reply, but you can sense him tense up next to you.
Look up into the bell tower.
The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead.
Perception, sight, challenging 12. Try to see beyond the shadows. Oh, we did.
It's like there's something moving up there. A shadow has emerged from the tower and it's making its way toward you through all the other shadows.
On the ceiling?
Yes. The darkness makes the ceiling feel infinitely far away.
Follow the shadow's movement.
It's not a shadow anymore, becoming more substantial as it gets closer. The shape of an animal descends.
Officer, is there something up there?
The lieutenant follows your gaze, attempting to see whatever it is that you are seeing.
Oh no. You've lost sight of it. Where did it go? Prepare for an attack.
Blink.
You see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you with dark eyes. Maybe it's possible to talk to it.
The bowl is filled with water. A live wire runs directly into it.
Is that a man? A man made of the same stuff as the carpentry of the building. He is studying you intently.
Hey, who's there? Say nothing. Be quiet for now.
The man leaned forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable gaze, then speaks.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry. Everything's gonna be all right. You come to the right place.
That accent is Villalobos. a peninsula in Mesk, and a district in Jamro. There's a sizable contingent of Villalobos-speaking Mesks in Revachol.
The right place for what?
Here you could receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of the despair at the bottom of that bottle.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
Oh.
Hey, and what was that about? The bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Shish.
Yeah, I guess I have a little bit of a problem, and it's been getting out of hand lately, but I'm a policeman. I need to talk to you about police things. I don't know anything about alcohol use. Oh, hell no. Run away.
Oh, yeah, sure. You don't know anything about alcohol use. You got it all under control, Way. I could smell the control all the way over here.
I'm doing just fine, thank you. Okay, fine. I'm struggling, but I don't need you to lecture me. I know what I need to do. You don't know me. You don't know what it's like. There's something white pursuing me. White and very sad. Or is that like white morning talking? This conversation is making me uncomfortable. Let's talk about something else.
I know it's hard to admit that you got a problem. I was like you once. Couldn't take an honest look into my own heart and see I was in pain.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
Thank you, Kim.
If the lieutenant agrees, then maybe, just maybe, you should pay attention. Look at these crazies. What is this? A fucking intervention?
For some reason, I feel like you have a point there. Who do you think you are, some crazy guy under the roof? What is this shit? You know, alcohol is central to my identity. If I wouldn't drink, I just wouldn't be me. This is stupid. I don't even know what this is. Well, that's all well and good, but we need to talk about the unlicensed occupation of ecclesiastic property. The ecclesiastics? Oh, it's such a hard word. All right, we'll just cater to him.
Don't trust me. Trust the mother.
Oh.
I'm only the messenger, Holmes.
Wasteland of reality. We're running out of room for our thought cabinet. But the wasteland of reality. Where are we? Jesus, there's so many of them. -2 to physical instrument. We permanently get a -1 to physical instrument. Permanent -1 to inland empire. Permanent -1 to suggestion. A +1 to all physical skills. Sorry, psyche, or is it physic? No, it's psyche. All psyche skills get a +1. And no positive effects from alcohol. Boo! Yeah, that's a horrible turnaround.
This is the Church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
He says he sways gently on the beams, waiting for you to take it all in.
You have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. Is he just trying to throw you off your game? Whatever it is, he's quite confident about it. Just look how gracefully he sways. 'Tis not an act, my liege. Saving perchance, he hath deceived his very self. This man is a zealot.
You must be the crab man.
Never known myself to be a crab. But if that's the name you got for me, I won't stop you from using it.
To be fair, it's more like a spider.
I always thought of myself more like a flame, flickering along the rafters and beams. It may be that I gotta work on my technique.
That's not the only technique he's working on. Look at those carved sculptures. And is that a satchel of tools over there?
Wait, did you also carve all those sculptures? Point at the nearest pillar.
Sure am. Whittling wood used to be something I just did to busy my hands. Now I use those same hands in service of something greater than my own restlessness.
All right, let's consider the context and meaning here.
I see what you've done there. It's as if these figures are trying to become one with the church, or perhaps with the mother herself. Rub your chin. You got some nice curves going on there. Squint your eyes. You seem a tad derivative. Derivative. Bullshit. Anglo... Shit. Anglo-Glugbalgian? That's a Always Sunny in Philadelphia reference. You're promoting the objectification of women with their reactionary depiction of female bodies. Honestly, I don't get it. All these figures look half finished. Let's go with the first one.
It's all just for the mother, man. No need to overthink it.
What were you before you became a crabman and a woodcarver?
I was in a gangway, but my memories of that time are fading. Most of them are already gone.
Shake your head. So many people losing their memory. Certain portent of doom. I lost my memory too, and it haunts me. I lost my memory too, but I like it. It's like I get to create a whole new me. Start again from scratch. So you used to be in a gang, but you don't really remember it? Sounds convenient. Yeah, no shit.
Convenience has got nothing to do with what goes on up there.
He gazes up at the ceiling.
Do you remember your name, sir?
Tiago's my name, but those syllables don't mean much to me these days. A name isn't just your identity, but also, so to speak, your place amongst your fellows, your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore.
My name's Harry. Extend your hand for a greeting. My name's Harry Dubois, and my place in the world is Lieutenant W. Frater. I don't do names either. Names are out. I don't care what mine is. I'll say the first one.
That's just the thing, Holmes. None of that matters.
He ignores your hand. His limbs are mere shadow below the ceiling. What are you doing here?
This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up there. A way out into nothingness. This church was built around it for purposes of veneration.
He nods towards the ceiling.
I circled it, nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'll be pure enough to go drink from it directly.
Who is this mother of silence you keep talking about?
Oh, that's no simple question, I said. She is one who can be painted or sculpted. She is a cavity in the dark beyond sense. She saved me, but I couldn't describe her to you. No one can, Holmes, and no one ever will.
What will happen once you drink from this perforation?
I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally, I won with the state of the world before reality began.
That sounds a bit like substitution behavior, no? You know a thing or two about that.
Oh, yeah. Still don't understand what you're doing in the church. You sure you just didn't switch one drug for another?
It's not like that at all, man. It's just faith and joyful service.
Too gleeful, those words. He is lying. Not to you, to his very own self.
Faith is a kind of drug.
I heard that before, Way. And I know I can't convince you on the spot. But think, when's the last time you woke up from silent communion with a hangover, regretting what you did last night?
Hey, I'm not judging. I've got drug problems myself. I think love might have been my drug of choice. And I think I'm still hungover from it. Yeah.
She took you for a good spin, huh? Don't worry, bro. That love is but a drop compared to the ocean of the mother's love. The mother will eat all of you and never spit you out.
I guess you have a point. Let's agree to disagree. I was being insensitive. Sorry. Let's move on.
No worries, man. I know this shit takes time.
I still don't understand what you're doing in the church.
I'm a seraph, Holmes. I sing the Mother's glory.
Can you sing for me? Sing for me something? It doesn't really make sense for you to sing if she's the mother of silence. No, singing is good. We should sing. We should all sing a bit more.
I don't mean literal singing, Holmes. This is the mother of silence we're talking about. It's the singing of a burning heart. You may be thinking, but fire crackles. No, Holmes. That's the material that's burning. The flames themselves are without sound.
How did you even find this place, this church?
Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here, back when I still had material worries. Up there, I realized what the true purpose of the church was. Been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing to me now, eh? It didn't belong to me.
Are these yours? Show him the scarf and shoes you found lying around.
I think they were. A long time ago. I had to shed them like skins to get closer to the center of the silence. You could have them. I don't need them anymore.
They look pretty dapper, actually.
Right, I had other questions.
The sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams, blending into the shadows.
You've been here a long time. Do you know why the church was abandoned?
Police raid a while back.
He responds, his voice suddenly flat.
Did you witness it?
Not really. Or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The mother's love has done its job. That's what's so great about the mother. It lets you forget about everything.
Some ravers want to turn this place into a nightclub.
The ones in the tent outside? Right? I see them. Guessing they're the ones who call me a crab. Probably scared of me.
Wait, do they have a reason to be scared?
Nah, man. They look pretty funny. And I don't harm no one anymore. Anyway.
Though he used to, a long time ago.
So what do you think about the nightclub, that is?
Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up there, imbibing. Ain't no music on earth that can reach where I go. Might even be nice to have some company.
Oh, well, there you go. Do you know where the other spooker is? Point at the strange machines around you.
¿Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estudiosa. Don't know, Holmes.
Viejita is Grandma?
Wait, so there is another person living in the church? And it's a viejita?
No. I just call her viejita because of her clothes. She's actually quite young. Or maybe not that young. Age is just one of the many masks we wear.
Wait, what if it's Ruby?
Did it ever seem to you like she was hiding here from something?
The lieutenant seems to be thinking the same. He takes out his little notebook.
You mean like a fugitive?
He glances at the abandoned radio computer on the other side of the nave, pulsing with light. Then he shakes his head.
No, man. Quite the opposite. I don't think she cared much about authority or anything else for that matter. Maybe only about her machines.
I see. And where is she now?
The lieutenant seems contented with that answer.
I told you, Holmes. I don't know.
How could you not know that? How could you not know that when you both live here?
Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. We got different interests.
So you've got nothing else to tell me? How she looks, what she does, who she is?
I'm afraid not, Essay. You just have to wait until she comes back, or...
He shrugs. Okay then, thanks. Oh. Autosave.
In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She is impossibly tall, oval-faced and sad, a dark and radiant majesty. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. You should kneel.
Kneel?
Your knees touch the floor. The floorboards are hard and cold. There you kneel among the snowdrifts, diffuse light falling on your hands from beyond the glass.
Close your eyes first.
The world is silent, but for the creaks and cracks of the massive wooden structure behind you. It covers you from the wind outside. The ocean feels distant, its ebb and flow blocked off by the centuries-old pinewood sarcophagus around you.
Open your eyes.
The woman looks down at you kneeling. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There is a sad smile on her lips and a glint in her green-blue eye of what? Compassion? Remorse? She acknowledges the passing of someone who is still alive.
It's not possible to live. It's remorse. Yeah.
As that useless word passes through your mind, the lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder.
Do the same as you get up.
Your fingertips touch your chest 4 times. Then you rise from your knees into the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles her distant smile, sundered by the crack in the glass.
Oh. How did I know this is the mother of humanism?
Despite the damage you've done to yourself, the title appears lodged in your hippocampus. This is Her Innocence, Dolores Day, the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. Perhaps the most famous human being ever to have lived. No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain thing. It has survived the deluge and haunts you still, and will haunt you forever, as it haunts all men.
Wait, what exactly is an innocence?
The highest category of historic individual, an embodiment of the world spirit.
A ruler?
More, an innocence is elected to office by the founding party, a precedent that has taken place a mere 6 times in the entirety of history. The legal system of the Real Belt is built to accommodate an authentic rule should it coincide with our time. An innocence is infallible. The decisions made by one are not decisions. They are inevitabilities. What would have happened anyway? Only accelerated, packed into decades instead of centuries. An innocence is a continuous, compressed event, a sacred human being. It is an honor and a glory to live when one is in office.
Is one in office now?
No, we are alone.
Okay. When did she rule?
300 years ago, in the wake of the discovery of this Isola, the Insulindian, by explorers from the continent of Muindi. She is, among other things, the innocence of inter-isolary travel, and the connected world.
What else do I know about her?
Many things. You know she was a woman of the court, the wife of an influential Marchese, and eventually the principal advisor to Irene La Navigateur, Queen of Serene, modern-day Sir Laclay. Also, that she was gorgeous beyond beauty.
Okay, what else? Was she smart?
Terribly. Women of the court were expected to play both contract bridge and chess sufficiently well to prove an interesting challenge to a man. A simple grasp in matters of philosophy, theology, and science was encouraged. She was, by all means, a kept woman. She made the most of her position in the antediluvian court, a court visited by the most prominent thinkers and artists of the day. In secret, she was becoming the era's preeminent philosopher of the state, a scalpel, a piercing gaze. She was an almost preternaturally magnetic and intelligent individual. To her contemporaries, she appeared out of time, a messenger from the future of the species. We all fell in love with her, head over heels. Even before she was declared an innocence, her influence was tremendous.
How come?
It was on her advice that Irene La Navigateur sponsored a number of voyages into the Pale. A costly, often tragic endeavor, ultimately vindicated by the discovery of the new world, the piece of reality you're standing on. She was crowned 2 years after the first expedition returned, setting in motion what is widely considered the greatest era in history, the DeLorean era.
Wow.
Wow indeed. When her innocence was declared, and the queen she had advised for years fell on her knees before her, she was so overcome with emotion that her lungs started glowing in her chest. Bystanders reported golden filaments lighting the already sunlit chamber around her, clearly visible beneath her dress. That is why the lungs are the symbol of love for the cultures of the Riel Belt.
I want more.
As did we all. The lands of the Mesk and the Occident, and even faraway Supremwindi, altogether 21 of the 40 Mundial nations of the time, immediately accepted Innocentic rule, even before her crowning.
Her crowning?
In a city called Advesperaskit, in Vesper Messina, her homeland, the name of the city means evening comes, but it happened on a winter's morning, with the canals frozen and slush falling out of the sky. She was dressed in a white and pearl dress on an emptied-out plaza with the crowd far away. Already, her Theriers, the secret servicemen of the Innocents, were worried about an assassination attempt.
She must have been beautiful.
Oh yes, she looked like humanity's young mother, a perfect mother, insultingly beautiful. It was as if her face and shoulders and hands were covered in a soft down of underfeathers. You know this well, very well. Midwinter snow was beating the cobblestones around her. A small attaché of officials stood by as her Theriers placed a white gold wreath on her head. The crowning was mostly witnessed by secret servicemen.
Then what?
One of the men in this secret service killed her 22 years later. A young man who had come to suspect that Dolores Day was not entirely human, but something else.
What?
Something that had walked in our midst, watching us stumble for hundreds, if not thousands of years, until it decided to interfere in the course of our history. We were supposed to come up with this ourselves. The man was reported to have screamed at the Innocents. Dolores Day was shot in the chest with a fowling piece 8 times. The man, thought to be insane, said he once touched her and her body had been unnaturally warm, like a furnace, and that sometimes, while on duty, he observed her forgetting to breathe for over 10 minutes. This inhuman quality was witnessed by many others as well, glowing lungs and all. It is commonly attributed to mass hysteria, and religious psychology.
Was there something terrifying about her?
Terrifying is a term too emotionally charged for your semantic memory, or what remains of it. Although she's often considered to be the greatest human being to ever live, there was something ominous about Dolores Day, constantly surrounded by her Therias. She was the most socially secluded and least self-aware of all the innocences. Some modern thinkers would consider her a war criminal for the campaigns she waged against the Mesk state. And then there were the resettlement programs.
What happened?
The Mesk state tried to detach itself from Innocentic rule. Parts of the world were experiencing whiplash from accelerating into secularism. Her mandatory education programs and mass resettlement of upstream Marguerite were problematic as well. Dissenters were suppressed by a military force she called the Army of Humanity, suggesting those who fight against it are not part of humanity. She adored chess, yes, but also military war games. Dolores Day often holds a tiny tin soldier between her index finger and thumb. In icons such as this, she was also blonde, the blondest woman you have ever seen, with green eyes the color of the Pacentic, mare interregnum. Little is known of her Marchese husband. It's as if he vanished from history after completing his role, which was to introduce Dolores Day to court. In conclusion, yes, there is something lonely, paranoid, and even terrifying that people seldom mention, but feel when they think of her. This subtle terror is part of her iconography.
Lieutenant Yefrater, you've stood there for over 5 minutes.
The lieutenant's calm voice echoes in the cold air of the church.
What are you thinking of, if I may ask?
She's somehow connected to the case. Glowing lungs, that's fucked up. Nothing, just looking around. She's beautiful, she's not human. Yeah, a war criminal? She's somehow connected to the case. Okay.
She's been dead for 300 years. I am almost 1,000% certain she isn't connected to the case.
He takes his glasses off to clean them.
None of this is, in fact. This church, the coast, this isn't a good place to get lost in.
Well, let's reconstruct the cracked glass.
A jigsaw of broken shards falls into place in front of you, a ghostly reconstruction of the stained glass window. Before it was shattered, there was an older woman beneath the younger one, and a text, a light motif below them both.
What shattered this mosaic?
Unknown. A motor carriage, a gunshot, someone falling into it, or maybe just hooligans looking for something to break.
Who is this older woman?
The escutcheon on her throne says, Irene the Navigator. She is depicted as an older woman wearing thick-rimmed eyeglasses, holding a golden rights apfel in one hand and a scepter in the other. This is the queen her Innocence Day advised. Above, she herself is whole. Small figures of wise men, common men, worshippers walk up the stairs to stand at her feet. Secret servicemen, Theriers, stand in a row guarding her. It must have taken years to produce this work in all its dizzying detail.
The motto? What does it say?
Below both women, in luminous black letters, Après la vie, mort. Après la mort, la vie de nouveau. And then, along the left side, Après le monde, la gré. Après le gré, le monde de nouveau. After life, death. After death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. This is the great leitmotif of humanism, a summary of the effect of the discovery of this Isola, the Insulindian, on human thinking. A tremendous sea change akin to finding life after death.
Lieutenant, it's used to say afterlife death. Afterlife death, after...
Death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. This exaltation is common in Dolorian sacralism. In the early years, it was even incorporated as the RCM slogan. No more, however.
Why?
It was deemed subservient to use a strongly moral intern-related motto. We already suspected of bootlicking. The sentence was also seen as too feminine. It was a macho thing.
What is the RCM motto now?
Justice, union, prudence, and force.
Cool. I like the other one better.
So do I.
Nice. Step back.
The mother of humanism towers above you. A wax painting on a cracked pane of glass. Nothing has changed in her expression.
This is Dolores Day.
The old woman in the village was right. This must be the Dolorian Church of Humanity in Martinez, or the small Pinewood Church in some records.
You knew of the place?
It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. It was built not long after Revachol's founding, 300 or so years ago, by first-generation settlers.
On the coast of an uninhabited archipelago where only animals had roamed before, in the wild reeds.
What else do you know?
There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Les Sept Sœurs, they call them, the 7 sisters. Only one remains. The rest were burnt in the revolution or used for building materials. We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted. I do not believe we'll find the instigator here. Something else, perhaps?
He looks at the machinery lying around.
Respectful? Is the lieutenant a follower of DeLoreanism?
Kim, are you a follower of DeLoreanism?
Yes, we all are. Her name, body, and rule are synonymous with humanism. The laws we enforce are DeLorean in origin.
Stroke your chin first.
The woman looks by in silence, smiling enigmatically.
I didn't think you were spiritual.
It's not spiritual, it's constitutional. The DeLorean system does not demand faith, only accordance.
All right, turn away.
Guillaume Le Million. Bad news. Guillaume Le Million did not become a cop. In 1938, he went on a tour to the Sinyao province in Safre, where he died of autoerotic asphyxiation. His body was found hanging from a decorative dragon tree in his junior suite, amid drug paraphernalia, unwholesome objects, and the Sylvia Trainer single, Wonderland, skipping in the background. And yes, you can take this as a metaphor for Revachol in the 30s, and also as a warning.
So +1 to pain threshold, blood oxygen is boring, all psyche learning caps raised by 1. Okay. So... well, suggestions there. Authority didn't budge. Inland has 2 dots. Yeah, so it looks like that's going to be the case with the Motorix skill too when that thing pops, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Well, anyways, we're going to call it here for today. We'll pick up the further adventures of Harry Dubois, Kim Kitsuragi in the not too distant future. Of course, we got more of Hardcore Henry to look forward to here as well. Thanks for hanging out. We'll do this again real soon. Take care. Have fun. See you later.